Hi guys, you're Romy from Musa XO, this channel, and I'm smiling a lot, but this topic is nothing to smile about because it's the topic that usually brings people to tears or to really strong emotions, and that doesn't necessarily mean the person is going to express them publicly or share them, but definitely there is movement inside. And it's the area of life that it's different for all of us, that it's our wound, the area of life that feels like we've been working for many years on mastering, recovering from, healing, progressing, and it just feels like when you look back, it's like years, 10 years, 15 years, 12 years since you remember you've been dissatisfied with this area of your life. And I say this area of your life because it's so different for everybody. For somebody can be the area of relationships, for somebody else could be the area of your place in the world, or issues with your family, with your current family, or were your original nuclear family. It could be issues of finance, it could be legal issues, it could be issues, environmental issues. So it's an area of life that feels like the wound visits you again from time to time, and the reason why it is so triggery of pain is because you feel you have a texture of defeat, a texture of the opposite of success in this particular area of life. It could be the area of children or fertility or whatever, or health, physical health, beauty, weight. It doesn't matter. For everybody, it's different. But we all have an area of our life that when it's touched or when it's triggered by external events or by people or by our circumstance, it just feels painful to a different level. It's not leger, it's not light, it's just deeper. And so I wanted to bring that to your attention, because what I want you to do, what I suggest that you could do when this happens, when you feel like an ancient wound of you, an existential element of you that feels painful and broken, I want you to first of all consider that we all have something like that. Everybody. You might not see it in others because it might not be the area where you're wounded, but we all have it, and it feels very similarly painful for everybody. What's different is the set of tools or your perspective on it. And as you progress through life, as you mature, you're supposed to continue to gain wisdom about this and to be able to manage it differently. So this is where the practical spirituality, practical philosophy part comes into play. When you have these tools, when you think about this, when you have self-awareness and a knowing about yourself, you will know exactly what area of life that is, and you will know exactly when that's triggered, what it is that you need to remember. And every time that's triggered throughout your life, you will have a new download or a new perspective of a new depth about that particular issue. And so when you try to brush it off or blame it on somebody else or feel victimized, you're not gaining power on that wound. You're not advancing in healing it. You're just leaving it there, and it will continue to make you feel extremely vulnerable. Again, this area of your life is where you are the most vulnerable, but your perspective on it and the way you manage that wound and the way you move forward in your life with that, it's what can change, and it's what's supposed to change as you gain wisdom. So the message here is, remember that we all have that. Try to learn about the wounds of others and how they manage that. Be open and curious about that, because it will normalize your own area of woundedness or of pain and of vulnerability. And it will also give you ideas or other ways of seeing it or managing it. During this time, it is very important that you remember the messages that are repeatedly coming to you on that topic, and that you start tying the knots and making your own conclusions about that. And additionally, remembering your north. remembering what it is that you want to do with that. How are you going to transmute that pain into something that's productive and empowering to you? That is your choice, and that is also the opportunity presented in those moments when that wound gets touched or triggered. It's like somebody's touching you on a very deep bruise, or there's a saying in Spanish, somebody, put their finger on my ulcer, basically. It doesn't sound that good in English, but it's as painful as that. Anyways, I hope this helps in at least making you aware of starting to see patterns in your life and say, oh, this again. From time to time, I feel this same feeling that I've felt since I was 20 something, or whatever, in your area of life where you feel like it's where you have to really work. Because when this happens, it really touches your sense of self. It really touches your self-esteem and your self-love. It moves you. And if you don't become aware of the mental dialogue and rhetoric that these triggers produce in you, then that takes over, and then you believe that's true, when in reality it's not. It shouldn't last that long. It should be just an alert, and it should be just a reminder of going back to your center and going back to your mission, vision, and where you're moving towards in your life. I'm not gonna rant, even though I feel very tempted about doing that. I hope this helps. I'll see you online. Leave a comment, leave a like, leave an egg, leave whatever you want. But it's nice to hear what part of this resonates and which area of your life you realize that you are hurt or wounded, and you want to overcome, and you want to heal, and you want to transform, transmute, and improve and upgrade. Ciao. I bought you this.
Thank you, sweetie.
And look.
Everything is blessed.
You like that?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that your favorite?